Oh, we could do this. We could get some honey and slaughter a tree, because we're not going to get any encounters out of this area otherwise anyway, right? So we might as well and come back here. I think in 24 hours I'm going to have to look up whether or not those mechanics have changed in the remake. Probably not. But if we come back here tomorrow around the same time, we should be able to get ourselves a nice bit of an encounter. That being said, I have no idea how far into the game I'll be tomorrow around this time. Very well could be the case that tomorrow around this time we'll, like, I don't know, how far, well past Hardhome City? Like, into Veilstone City? At which point I'm not going to walk all the way back here. That would be insane. Team Galactic time. But if we aren't that far, and I do feel like walking back, we could get like a combi, which would be... I mean, if it's a female combi, I guess we can get a Vaspik but we could also get a Munchlax. I don't know if it's still like a 1% chance and only on certain trees. Getting Munchlax in the original games was stupidly difficult. I assume it's been made somewhat more easy. Just like getting Feebas in the Mega Ruby for Sapphire was a lot easier. There is still it's just a very low chance at a certain, like a certain randomly generated. Shame has pickup. Shame just became a lot more useful. But the whole mechanic of how Feebas used to work still was in place, but there's also, among every single instance of the game, there's one tile where you'll always get it under the bridge. There's probably like one tree in this game where you just get like, if not a 100% chance, like a 50% chance or something like that of getting a Munchlax. Whereas in the original game, I think there's 16 trees in total, and there's like a handful of trees that you can even get Munchlax at in the first place. And then on top of that, it's a 1% chance. So you could very well get to a tree where you can get a Munchlax and then like try like 20 times, not get a Munchlax, assume this isn't one of them, and move on. It's actually the worst. Getting a Munchlax in Diamond and Pearl is... It's difficult to the point where it's just not fun anymore. Honestly. We're gonna get rid of Leah on Sparky, because nobody ever likes Leah. That being said, we are getting to the point where Sparky and Karen, but mostly Sparky, is actually shaping up to be a somewhat usable Pokemon, but all the type advantages always just... The game seems to want me to use Ralph, because we get normal types and grass types and bug types, all of which are really good for my firefighting type. I know people hate on firefighting types because this was only the second generation in a row where we got one, and then the generation after this we got another one as a starter. But it's a really good type combination because it does a lot for the main story playthrough at any rate. So here we have Commander Mars, I think you are. I never can keep their name straight. I never can keep the names of any commanders right in any game, to be honest. But I think this is Mars. And then we have... Yeah, we have Jupiter and one more. Okay, so Zubat is actually not a great matchup for me. I'll just be upfront about that one. It's level 14. I might actually... Let's go into Sparky. Because we've got Thundershock, which isn't great, but at least it's super effective, and it gives Sparky a thing to do for a change. Instead of just sitting back and just like being cute, which she does. I'll admit, Sparky's being a cutie. But now she's a useful cutie. You're gonna U-turn. You're gonna U-turn out. Of course you did. Now you're gonna get into Stung Tank, and now I have to switch back into Perugly. You have Perugly. Same difference to me, really, because I'm just going to power up punch you. I was going to power up punch you either way, because either you're a dark type or you're a normal type. Kind of works for me, right? What are you doing to my Pokemon? This is how Pokemon battles work. You send them out, I hit them, they die. Sometimes you hit me back, and sometimes I die. Which is not ideal, so please don't do that. You can fake me out, that's not a problem. Oh, that's a lot of damage for a fake out. Holy hell. Power up punch. I probably outspeed you. I don't outspeed you. But this Power Punch will offset the Growl, so at least that's good. How much does Power Punch do? That's not bad. I mean, if you keep growling, I'll take that. You can Scratch. How much does Scratch do? I can probably take one more of those, but I don't need to, because Perugly is dead, because a critical hit. Thank you so much. Okay, so at this point, I'm actually going to stay in because I'm at +2 attack. And against a Zubat, I think that will give me the advantage I need. Holy... The experience is out of fucking control, dude. Oh my god. That's insane. I keep being amazed by this experience. What? Okay, keep current Pokemon in. That's good. Zubat level 14. We can probably just... I mean, Power Punch won't be very effective. Amber won't get the boost from Power Punch, but Scratch at +2 probably deal quite a bit of damage still. As I said, quite a bit of damage. It'll two-shot. And I didn't even get hit by the Supersonic, so I'm in very good shape and we beat Commander Mars without too much trouble. And Shame leveled up, which Shame is going to get replaced with hopefully a Weasel any moment. Then again, if we get a Weasel, we might keep Shame around a little longer. Because we don't need 2 Water types on the team. Then again, we don't need a useless Water type on the team anyway. And if we get a Floatzel, I might want a Floatzel over a Gyarados. I know Gyarados is very... It's classic, it's good, it's powerful. But I have an emotional connection to Floatzel, okay? As I said before, Floatzel was my first ever Pokemon to get to level 100. And I used that Floatzel for so much. So long. That's technically not true. I did get a Articuno up to level 100 in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon before that, but that doesn't really count. Okay, Route 205. Let's see. Yeah, you have to Pokeball block me. You really felt the need to do. I'm not going to hold back on you. I want you to know this Ponyta isn't just going to faint. This Ponyta is going to get ripped to fucking pieces. This Ponyta, you can bring it to the hospital, to the Pokemon Center, but they'll just say, yeah, no, because you'll be bringing Ponyta back in a little box. And when I say a little box, I mean you'll have like a torso, and then you'll have like limbs, which you might think, well, that's just how things work. But I don't mean that they're connected to each other anymore. See, it's dead. Anyway, let's get on with, with capturing our encounter for this route next. And I don't know if you can hear the cars outside. I hope you can't. Encounter for route, I think there's a 208. Doesn't matter what it's called. It's a Weasel! We have to catch you. I don't care. I will throw my balls at you. We will catch this Weasel. I don't want to actually hurt it because I'm scared that I'll kill it. Karen should probably be able to astonish it with just doing a little damage. Do you have Flail by any chance? Only Splash. Okay, so let's go into Karen. Astonish like once or twice just to get the HP a little bit lower. There's a good chance that I'll just catch it off the bat because I've been having really, really good luck with that. But let's damage it a little bit. Let's just pretend like this is difficult for a moment. So we can Astonish. How much damage does that do? Probably only a teeny tiny bit. Okay, that's about 10% or so. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that we can safely absorb. Because absorb isn't that powerful either. Okay, that was a little bit more than expected, but that's actually to be expected. I just expected the wrong thing for my expectations. So I should expect something different. I'm not going to use absorb again because I'm not insane. I'm going to Astonish now, which... And that's exactly the reason that I didn't want to use Absorb, because if it critted, I would fucking kill it. I am so happy that I used Astonish there. And we're in a really, really good range to catch the Weasel now. So, This is not going to be a problem. You're just going to stay, and we're going to have a Weasel on the team, and this is going to take so much work and editing, because in the past 40 minutes I've switched around like 5 Pokemon, I think. So, future me, I'm very sorry if you're watching this. Current me, I'm very happy because I've got a Weasel. Let's see, Weasel nickname, it's a female. We're getting a lot of female Pokemon today. I'm going to call you... I'm bad at names, but specifically I'm bad with female names that aren't like bad. So... let's call you Amy. Amy the Weasel. I don't know why. But Weasel, I'm actually not unhappy with that name. Weasel kind of seems like an Amy to me. I don't know why. Anyhow, let's not avoid all these trainers actually. Because we can use the experience, especially now that we have a new Pokemon on the team. It's going to be a while before we get another encounter. That's not true. We get another encounter in Eterna Forest, and then when we get to Eterna City, there was going to be an encounter in Mount Cornet and Route 209 to 10. I don't know which one it is, but the route right to Eterna City is also going to be an encounter. So there's quite a few encounters lined up for us still. But after that, it's going to be even not that long. No, never mind. We have a lot of encounters like lined up for the next... Within the next hour of gameplay, I think we get like 6 more encounters at least. So there's going to be a lot of rotation on the team, which, again, was the entire point of me trying to... We're going to say in against a matchup. I know maybe I should have changed into a flying type, or hell, the psychic type would have been nice. Talking about which... We now have... Shame isn't the newest member of the party anymore, is she? So we can go back and get Justin. Let's go do that. Because as useful as it is to have a Pokemon with pickup, it's also not that useful. It gets you kind of decent items sometimes. Mostly it's just a constant drain on like your mental overhead for like, oh, we've done a battle, we should go check our pickup. It's a bad item. Who fucking knew, right? So, I don't need that in my life, is really what it comes down to. Shame grew to level 12. What a shame. Because you're never going to get used again after this. I know that if you have a team full of pickup Pokemon at a high level, you can get rare candies relatively quickly. And you can use that to like level boost one Pokemon. Really, really good. But hear me out here. That means I save like 5 slots for bad Pokemon to have one really good Pokemon. That's how a 5-year-old plays this game. Well, actually, a 5-year-old doesn't play this game because I think these games are 6 and up. Are they? I don't know if they are. Let me see. I've got a Pokemon Sapphire cartridge just by chance here on the good old desk. The cartridge doesn't have an age rating on it. That's only in the box. And apparently we have a Luxio. I didn't even notice that something was evolving. But that's great, because now we have a mean-looking... Actually, I don't know if that's good, because it's less cute. Significantly so, actually. Okay, let's go back and get ourselves our Justin back, because Justin is... I also looked up, by the way, the trade evolution, at least from Machamp, because I wanted to make sure that my friend didn't trade away and evolve Machoke into Machamp too early. Unlike most Stone evolutions, trade evolutions seem to have the same level up moveset, so it's literally just a straight up upgrade. There's no strategy to when you evolve it, seemingly. So the moment this thing evolves, it's going to evolve twice. Off screen, that is. Yeah, Shame, you get yeeted, never to be seen again. Bye bye, Shame. Let's heal real quick before we get on going, and then go visit Eterna Forest next. I honestly didn't expect to still have Kvothe on the team, but Kvothe is going to come in at least somewhat useful for the second gym. Probably after the second gym is where we start dropping Kvothe, because we don't really have much use for Bug type specifically after defeating the Grass type gym. And as it is, we might as well fight you. As it is, we have plenty of alternate solutions to face that gym with, so that we still really don't need it that badly. But I just like having a bug type on the team because not a lot of people give bug types the respect they sometimes do deserve, and just having an opportunity to use one is kind of neat. That opportunity is going to run out relatively quickly though, and when it doesn't make sense to have it anymore, I'm not going to have it anymore. I know that is a very obvious thing to say, but then I don't know. Let's just beat up this meatball. Or this Geodude, I mean, it's the same thing, right? It's a meatball with arms. And get to Eterna City so that I can get into the underground and do a lot of off-screen capturing and grinding and stuff like that. Thing is, how am I going to county and counter mechanics for the underground? Do I get one encounter per, like, place, or do I just get one underground encounter? That's a very good question that I had not as of yet considered. I'm probably just going to not count those encounters at all, because it's a little muddy. Same thing with Mount Connect, right? Because Mount Connect has a lot of different areas, all with specific unique catch lists, because you get to them at specific different points in the game. So, at least for level-wise, they have to have different catch lists. And I think at a lot of points there's also slightly different Pokemon that you can actually catch there. So, do you go Mount Connect as one big area, you get one Pokemon encounter there? Or do you go every single, like Pinwheel Claws, but on steroids? Unless I forget that I've already caught something in Mount Connect later on in the game, I'm going to just say that this encounter we get near Eterna City is going to be the only encounter we get for Mount Connect inside. The moment we get outside, on the snowy part, where you can get like a bonus snow and, well, Snover, I guess, rather. Let's just go in Eterna Forest. We'll be fine. We'll count that as a separate area. And obviously Spear Pillar is an entirely separate area as well. I don't remember if you can capture Pokemon. It might have changed in the remake anyway. I don't know if you can capture Pokemon while Cheryl is with you. But let's give that a shot, because that would mean that we have two options here. A Badoo or a Wurmple. Yeah, I don't really like either of those. But if we need to choose, I will go for the Badoo. So let's try to murder the Wurmple first. Just to see if I can capture the Badoo. That went very easily. Okay. Now, Chansey, don't kill the Badoo. This is very important to me. Flame Wheel is also very, very good to have. Let's see. Flame Wheel is a physical move. So it's literally just better than Ember in every single way. Because it's got more base power, it's got a battle stat for me, it's got the same amount of PP. It's literally just a better Ember. So we have Flame Wheel now. That's neat to have. And we're actually getting up somewhere as far as levels go. Disarming Voice, don't kill it. Just damage it. Damaging it is for... Okay, that is... When I said don't kill it, I did expect you to damage it a little bit. To, like, soften it up for me a little. Because this is just straight up sad. Anyway, we've got our Pokeballs here. And I don't know how Badoo evolves. Is it a Friendship Evolution? I think it's a Friendship Evolution. Yeah, I think it is. Is it a Friendship Evolution? I think a lot of baby Pokemon are Friendship Evolutions, right? Badoo Evolution. Another side of not using a... I know it evolves into Roselia, but I don't know how. So, Bulbapedia sure as hell will show me. Another upside I was talking about of not playing on emulators, that I just can use my PC while I play. So that's great. How do you evolve? Where does it say? Friendship during the daytime. Yeah, I like Friendship Evolution so fucking much. So this Badoo is not going to be useful at all. Then again, we have another Friendship Evolution on the team in the form of Zubat. So if I just walk around in the underground a lot, which I'm going to do probably just to like grind out like stones and stuff, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll have a Roselia in no time. I've been reading the Name of the Wind, And there's this female character called Dana who doesn't like getting roses because everybody gives her roses. And this being a rose Pokemon, it's kind of funny to call her Dana. So we're going to call you Dana. And I'm going to... Justin. 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 You gotta go again. I'm sorry. We'll get you back soon. We'll get you back soon after the next encounter, or after the gym is done, actually. Because once the gym is done, we don't need Vote anymore at all. So let's make our way through Eternal Forest relatively quickly so that I can maybe, within this recording session, because I've been recording for over 50 minutes, holy crap, that went by really quick. Maybe we can do the second gym, and we can get like to the underground, and I can like start exploring that a little bit off camera as well. Maybe this will be a 2-hour recording session all together, and I'll finish off doing some underground exploration on camera first. But this seems like the kind of thing, because I've been looking for an excuse and a way to play this game while I'm not recording, because I'm loving this game. Especially since I can play it handheld as well. But I don't want to progress with the game, because obviously I'm doing a Let's Play of it. So one way of doing, of coping with that would be just making an entire separate save file and just doing like my own little Nuzlocke on there. Or a casual playthrough on there. Another way is just like grinding the shit out of the underground when I get there. Or maybe even like doing... Are contests going to be a thing in this? It's probably going to be contests. So maybe even doing contests. I don't know. Is it going to give me any benefit? If not, you won't see me doing them. Okay, Kvothe is getting a lot of level ups for Pokemon that's about to be yeeted off the team. That's not great. But you know what? It doesn't matter that much. It would be kind of nice to have a Psychic type for the upcoming gym, I realize, because it's going to have a fair amount of poison types in it as well, most likely. I'm just going to keep ignoring Pachirisu until you stop giving me things that burn. If you keep giving me Pokemon that burn very easily, they're going to get burned. And then Pachirisu is just going to get demolished as the very last thing on the team. But as long as it keeps attacking Chansey, I don't even mind that much. Because Chansey is not my fucking problem. And then Pachirisu might even take itself out at this rate. Well, I'll take a sip of water. See, that's how you damage a thing, Chansey. You might want to pay attention. That's how things get damaged. You hit him. You hit him real hard. Even Pachirisu is doing more damage to itself than you are to it. And now you're healing yourself. Live Do is a move that I've never seen before. It's a move that heals both Pokemon. I like it, never mind. I was going to complain about... Chansey has a shit ton of it. I knew Chansey has a lot of HP, but at level 15 it's over 100 HP. That doesn't seem reasonable. That doesn't seem reasonable at all. That seems ridiculous, as a matter of fact. We're gonna get an evolution for Ralph before too long. They're definitely not within this recording session, because again, I've been going for an hour, and I could probably play this game for 3 or 4 hours at a time, but I need to also like not actually destroy my voice. On top of the fact that I feel like after like 2 or 3 hours of playing a game, my commentary is probably not going to be as interesting anymore. That being said, I feel like I'm going very well, and this really shows you that sometimes... Every time I sit down to play a game and do a Let's Play series, I'm having fun, obviously, because if I didn't, I wouldn't do it. But there's having fun, and then there's sitting down and still enjoying yourself, but still like kind of forcing yourself to do it just because you have to do it on schedule. And then there's a game like this where I just sit down and I cannot stop. I have to force myself to stop. Like sometimes, like yesterday, right? I recorded a little bit of Shovel Knight because I knew that today, the day I'm recording this, a Shovel Knight episode had to go up. So I forced myself to sit down, play a level of Shovel Knight, record it, make it an episode, and upload it. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with it. I had a lot of fun. It was a very nice level. Very good. This is the opposite problem. I have been wanting to get back into playing this and recording this for like a day, 2 days at this point. So at this point, now that I'm into it, I'm going to have to force myself to stop recording at some point. Because I can't do the rest of the game in one sitting. I mean, some people do. But I also don't think that makes for a very entertaining end product. So, usually, by the way, when I'm doing a Nuzlocke, these trainers cost me at least one Pokemon. Because their Abras are a piece of shit. But that didn't seem to be a problem anymore this time around. And probably mostly, admittedly, because, again, I'm overpowered. I'm at this point, I think the ace Pokemon for the upcoming gym leader is level 21. I'm already level 20. And I'm a fire type. So Gardenia is not going to be a problem either. Gardenia is going to be easy. Very, very easy indeed. Who wants to learn Poison Fang? I mean, I'll give it to you. Probably Karen. Yeah, Karen. I'll take that over Supersonic because it's only got an accuracy of 55 and that's just not good enough, honestly. There's a 55% chance, which is more or less 50-50, right? It's 55-45, but it's got a coin flip, more or less, chance of... Why would you use Live Do if you got full HP? That makes no fucking sense. Of hitting in the first place, and then it's got a 50-50 chance every turn of them hitting themselves in confusion, but it's also got... I think after like the second or third turn, it's probably got like there is a pretty good chance that after using like 3 Supersonics, you only have the enemy hit themselves once for 1/16 of their HP. If I use those 3 same turns to just use that Poison Fan, I'll probably deal more damage. On top of the fact that I have a 30% chance, I think, maybe it's 10% with Poison Fang, to poison the enemy, and that then guarantees a 1/16 damage every turn from that point onward. It's so much better. Like, a ridiculous amount better than Supersonic could ever be. The only upside to Supersonic is that it stacks on top of a status condition, so you can have, like, Parafusion or Poison and Confusion stacked on top of each other, which is, like, kind of decent, especially Parafusion. The chance that your opponent attacks becomes 25% suddenly, which is just very frustrating if somebody uses it against you, but very satisfying if somebody just can't attack you anymore. Anyhow, we just keep killing things until we get to the end of Eterna Forest, which actually, after I forgot entirely, but after we beat the Eterna Gym, we can go into the ghost house, the abandoned mansion. We don't need Sing. I said we don't need Sing. Quoth wants to learn Sing. That's actually really topical as well. That makes all the sense in the world. Dana's going up in levels very quickly as well, though. Which is... We've got Quoth and Dana both on the team. They're both from the Name of the Wind. Like, that's the romantic subplot there. Well, not even a subplot. It's pretty much the main plot. We think, because the 3rd book still hasn't been... It's been a decade! I'm salty. I read these books in high school. Since then, since then I've completed college, and started my own business. And still, the 3rd book has yet to be released. We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. I doubt this guy has anything better to do. Get to fucking writing. The book is never going to be released. Well, after a decade, we can be pretty sure this book's never going to be released. But still, I've listened to it. Both books. There's 2 out of 3 books released. I've listened to both of them twice within the last half a year because I got an Audible subscription, right? This sponsor video, but wow, this video is not sponsored by Audible. I wanted to make the same joke I did with Honey a couple of episodes ago, which at this point is quite a few episodes ago, actually. So I listened again to it, the American version, and then I found there's also a British version with a different narrator, and I was like, okay, let's give that a shot. I took a while to get used to it, but it is in a very different way, also a very good narrator. So I've listened to them back to back, And I'm about halfway or so, not even halfway, I think the second book is like 140 chapters, but like chapter 65-ish now with the British narrator. So about halfway through, almost, with that for my listen of the second book. And after that, I'm going to need to actually figure out what I want to listen to after that, because at that point I'll spend half a year listening to the same 2 books back to back. And it's going to be rough to get into something else after that, right? So I'm thinking maybe I want to listen to the Avatar Kyoshi books. They are not on Audible in English. They are in German, but I don't speak German, so that's not going to help. And I don't know where I can actually legally get those audiobooks. So I found them on YouTube, so I might just download that as an MP3 file and just listen to that. It's also funny because they're relatively short, seemingly. I don't know how thick they actually are, but it seems like... I think that the audiobook I found was like 6 hours, which is just not a lot. And that's another thing, right? Because these audiobooks, like, one of them is... The first one is like 26 hours, I think. And then the second book is like 30-some hours, which are very long books. And I like that. Because I don't have to choose every other week what book I'm going to listen to now. Anyway, back on Route 205 with a lot of fishermen, which I'm just going to entirely ignore. And we are back in Eterna City. So... We didn't need to go to the Pokemon Center now that I think about it. So what we'll do is we'll go into the gym